morning, beautiful creatures. I've got some advice from your higher self. I'm just going to kind of call this segment AHS, so you might see those on like the video titles. It's just a lot easier than typing out, and then I can do a little bit more with the titles, because by the time I write advice from your higher self, I've used half of the context that I can use. So anyway, if this doesn't resonate, of course, check out another video or come back next week. And yeah, I love your guts and respits. My mind went blank, so I guess that's a good time to start. We have mirror. Who or what is triggering you? And this is really beautiful. I see, like, obviously it's being mirrored. And let me hold that card up to the camera a little. Obviously it's being mirrored by the water. But, like, what I'm getting is just, like, a sense of cool, comforting, like, diving in to figure out these triggers, because once you, like, even acknowledging the fact that you have triggers and one-on-one, and that finding what they are, like, that's like a huge step in the right direction. So now you know what your triggers are. You get to choose if you respond or react to them, right? So sit with that for a little bit and be like water, move through it, right? Don't get caught in a situation and start drowning in feelings that, you know, no longer serve you. We're just trying to get answers, right? So be like water, move fluidly, flow through it. This is beautiful. We have familiar, learn and listen. So maybe it's a time of oh, and I put that right underneath our little kitty cat friend. So maybe this is a time of connecting with animals and nature, and just if you know, maybe people are triggering you right now, and that's not a fun time. So connect with animals and know that you're not alone, and you've always kind of got someone on your side in that way. Oh, this is beautiful too, because we have the card of ancestors. So large purple, so like third eye and crown chakra energy coming through. And maybe that's why, like, you're being triggered right now or asked to sit with them. Your ancestors are asking you to grow from the situation instead of run from it. Because I feel like, you know, as life is a spiral, we come in contact with situations that are similar, you know, maybe not the same, and sometimes they feel like they're exactly the same if you're not learning the lesson. But as the spiral goes, like, we come into these contacts with these situations, and it's not the situations really that change, it's we who grow and learn and change along the way. And we get to, again, decide to respond differently. So if that's resonating with you, maybe your ancestors are guiding you to really, again, sit with these triggers and figure them out, and you get to choose who you want to show up as. Oh, I really love this card. This card 29, which reduces to 11, is the eye. I don't even know. I should have probably Googled how to say her name, but on the bottom it says Revelation. Lee's eye. But what I'm really being, like, drawn to, let me see if I can kind of focus on the camera, is this, it looks like this little, to me I see like a little heart of energy, but it's electric, to this dragon. And I feel like you're being guided by forces that, like, you don't quite understand yet, but to not be afraid of them. I see this beautiful blue and pink energy, unconditional love, calm, peace, tranquil. Like, this is something for your higher good, and I don't think your guides would ever encourage you to do anything that you weren't capable and ready for. So if maybe something like you're not willing to look at these triggers and these, you know, why people are mirroring these, maybe it's projections or just like dark corners of yourself that you weren't ready to deal with quite yet. But whatever that's happening is, again, for your highest good, and for whatever reason, you're ready to deal with it now, and it's going to elevate you to a new position of just who you are and who you show up as. It's beautiful. Please do this. And then we have the card of movement. So this is kind of a weird card, right? Like, I feel like, again, we are moving to like it's kind of like desert dry over here to greener grasses, but it kind of looks awkward. Like you're like a little township on a ostrich and a balloon. Like, it doesn't look like it's like a comfortable journey is kind of what I'm trying to voice. And whatever happens, I feel like you just need to keep moving forward and knowing that, like, the best is forward. And that might be a little scary, not knowing what it is or where you're going. But what's scarier is staying the same. You know how your life is going right now. is that not terrifying that it will not change? I don't know. Maybe I like change, and like I'm very conflicted. I have like, you should see my human design chart. I'm like literally like someone created me inside out and backwards. It's really funny, but I love change in a way that like I love personal development and growth, but I also am like a creature of habit, and I like, you know, being comfortable as we all do. So it's just kind of like a really hard time for me to get my head around in the beginning. But this goes back to a lot of things I know about myself. Like I don't react well to things. So I know when something, like someone says something and it like triggers me, I need to take a step away from that situation. I'm just like, I need to go to the washroom for a second and catch my breath, return to my energy, like ground myself. And it's just like, when I come back out, I can choose to respond. I think this is all about choosing to respond, choosing to show up differently. This is like a different version of yourself. And like, it's incredibly mature and beautiful and grown. And like, I think you'll surprise yourself if you just like allow it to be, allow it to flow like water, right? And like trust that you're being protected. Your ancestors are here for millions. If you don't have human people that you can rely on, trust on like, get a cat, get a dog, get a hamster, get a goldfish. But this electric energy is moving you forward in the most beautiful ways. And like, it kind of reminds me of like a Cam Hunter song. I can't even remember the lyric, but it's like, fuck your world up. But again, in the most wonderful ways, it'll fuck your world up. So let's see what these tarot cards that fell out have to say. We have the Four of Cups. Yeah, just being like bored and discontent with things. Like you're not wanting to stay the same, but you're scared of what different looks like, I think. And like the Eight of Swords kind of confirms that for us. And then we have the Three of Wands. And lastly, the Ten of Swords. Oh, this is really beautiful energy. Like, I know these are maybe coming up as some, like, intimidating cards, but they're honestly so beautiful. So I do feel like there's been a bit of just discontentment, fear, wanting more. Like, you're looking at this card, and let me pick it up for us if I can with my dumb nails. She's like diving into this beautiful new beginning. She doesn't know what's underneath that water, but she's taking a chance that it'll be refreshing and rejuvenating and revitalizing. Like the mirror, right? Like this is a deep dive inside yourself while you're waiting for these beautiful things to happen in your life. Because you're with the Ten of Swords, like the 10-10, right? Like we're done with whatever it was that was triggering you and how you were reacting. We're done with that. That's the old version of you that you no longer have to deal with, and that's like incredibly beautiful and empowering. So on the back of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles, the Son of Cups, and the High Priestess. And this is, again, really beautiful because I feel like this is after a period of feeling left out in the cold and like disconnected from yourself. You're just falling in love with who you are, your abilities, just like this journey, this deep dive that you take inside yourself to discover your triggers. It reconnects you with your intuition, with your guides, and it's like in this incredibly beautiful way that it empowers you. It gives you life. You go forward. This movement, right, that we're recreating, this electricity, it moves you forward in ways that I don't think you've ever experienced. But you're going to, again, be so connected to your intuition that you'll just know that this is right for you. So I've got this beautiful Self-Forgiveness Oracle deck, Love Your Ego edition, and this is the card that came out. I forgive myself for taking from others when I am concerned I may not have enough for a future moment in time. I choose to believe I am constantly being moved towards what is meant for me, and life's unconditional support is not only unwavering, but also unending. That's really beautiful. It may be like hard to admit and different in everybody's situation, but like, it's no coincidence I put it over the Five of Pentacles. It's like lack mindset, this scarcity, not having enough, being afraid for your own future, and being maybe taking a little bit more from others to make sure that you have enough for yourself, not in concern if that leaves enough for them, kind of thing. And that's, again, when you're in that mindset, you're just doing the best you can with what you have and the information and knowledge. Like, all we can ask is that we do better moving forward. And like, I trust you make good decisions when 955 on the clock, when you need to. Oh, this is beautiful. So this says ultimate potential. I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishment. Tuning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I ever have tuned into anything else? I'm looking at you, smooth jazz and talk radio. Again, this going within this deep dive, you're really going to see your ultimate potential, and it's really going to be clear. Figuring out these triggers, again, you're not going to, and like, you don't have to go deep dive down the rabbit hole, like, you know what I mean? Like, you just need to recognize that you have triggers, what they are, and then you get to decide how deep you want to go in healing them. Because again, knowing that you have the triggers, be like, you know what, I don't want to hang out with that person because they always complain about their boyfriend but never do anything about it, and that really triggers me because I was in an abusive relationship once, and it was really hard for me to like get out of. So when she just like complains about her bullshit and never ever does anything, then like that bothers me, and like that's okay. And like maybe you didn't say it like that. Maybe that was 111 on the clock. But it's yeah, maybe you don't say it quite like that, but be truthful to yourself and understand why those triggers you, and you get to respond differently and trust that you're being guided, protected, and loved along the way. And if there were ever moments where you were concerned that you may not have enough for a future moment in time, know that that's all moments of the past, because this unlimited potential is now running through you, and you can see it 1133. It's really beautiful. So we have the card Channel. You are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. So trust that you bring beautiful things into the world. And if you ever thought that you took too much, maybe this is your time to give back. But Spirit loves you, your higher self, your guides, everyone loves you. You're very loved. And this period of not being, like, it's again discontentment with where you are in your life. You're looking for change, and you're ready for it now. And if it was something that scared you before, that's something of the past, because here we go. We're ready for it. I love your guts and girth bits. Cheers, cheers, success. Bye.